G'day. How are you guys going? Welcome again to another episode of Locked On Warriors. It's episode 3, the final series, and you're here with myself, Hold the Ball. Hope you guys are well. It's a bit of a solo one here, but look, let me know if you guys can hear me in the comments as well, because I'm not too sure if you guys can. I'm really hoping that is the case, but I hope you guys are well anyway. Hope work is going good. Hope life is going good. That's it. Cool. So again, glad you guys are all here. Look, I've got a bit of a how do I say this? It's a bit of an exciting sort of episode, I suppose. We're going to get straight into all things Warriors, and obviously the game against the Broncos too, which is a big one here. As you can see as well, I've got here our house is at Suncorp again, just to throw a bit of banter there, and on the screen below you as well there, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me guys the Australian Eastern Standard Time as well for the games that'll be commencing this Friday on, and I'm looking forward to it as well. But I look and say that hope you guys are good. Yes, look, it is what it is. Sometimes when, just quickly as well, with all things finals and all that stuff, a lot of us have, commitments and all that stuff. We're all trying to, promote the game and all that stuff. So it is what it is. But in saying that, just bear with me. We will still have a fun night. So again, welcome to Locked On Warriors, episode 3. Just some quick announcements as well. So during the stream, feel free to ask me some questions, as I always tell you guys to, right? Don't hesitate. I'm happy to answer them as well, so feel free to do that. And just quickly as well, shout out again to all you fans as well, the ones who are watching, the ones who watch later on. Thank you again for all your support. I got to really apologize as well. Obviously, I had that 3-month absence, but again, I'm glad that I'm sort of back, slowly getting back in the swing of things as well. So I'm glad you guys are here for the journey. So I just want to sort of acknowledge that. Okay, this Saturday, I'm going to be doing a live commentary watch along, and I'm actually very, very excited. Thank you there. So yes, I'll be actually doing a live watch along this Saturday. I don't know what to expect. There's going to be a lot of emotion, I'm sure, but a lot of intensity, and I want to call it straight down the middle. There'll be no bias calling, I'm pretty sure, but I want to give you guys the best of what I have this Saturday night. It's all there. It's already locked and loaded. There'll be some pre-game sort of yarns as well, chats and all stuff as we sort of build up to the game. But I'll see you guys there, and I'm looking forward to it. All right. So yeah, that's sort of like my sort of announcement there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's absolutely. Everyone needs to go walk about every now and then. That's right. Yeah, appreciate that, Jacko. I appreciate it very much. Okay. So just quickly as well, before I get into the Warriors Knights recap, just quickly, look, one of the reasons why I think that the prelim is so special, or the build-up and anticipation, is, remember, ladies and gentlemen, the Warriors were, remember COVID, right? It's so funny how the Warriors are so deep in the finals now, and everyone's just all of a sudden forgotten about the COVID situation, right? And how we were in Australia for all those many years. It's so funny how being successful can take away what I think, anyway, from what we've done. It might sound very offensive, but that's what I truly believe can happen, right? When we were sort of languishing last year in the almost bottom of the ladder, there was a lot of pity and remembering of what we've done. All of a sudden we're back, we're in the top, and I feel like, people have forgotten what we've done. So I just want to sort of bring us back a little bit to where we were, right, a few years ago, as a collective, as a Warriors community, from player to staff to fans. Right, I want us to not forget that as we sort of head into this direction here of being in our first prelim since 2011. I want us to not forget the hard times we come from, right, building towards where we are right now. So I think that's another reason. That's one of the reasons why I think it's so special, because where we were from, and where we are right now, and obviously the sense of community, the sense of I'm going to say it, bandwagonism, right? No, I'm kidding, but a sense of just people coming together, supporting the Warriors from all over, right? And I think that's also special about it as well. It's just the love and the sense of loyalty and admiration for what these group of men are doing, wearing the jersey. And ladies and gentlemen, I need to touch on this as well. As crazy as we are about sport, right? I love my sport. I'm sure you do too. Sporting, whether you like it or not, it's not real. It's not real. I mean, it's real in the sense that obviously, you what you see is what you get, right? The rugby league, it's real, players real, but how do I say this? in all fairness, it's a bit of fantasy. Sporting is fantasy, right? But what I love though, and hey, you may disagree with me, and sure, put down in the comments. But sporting is fantasy. It's all make believe to a degree. It is, right, because our emotions get so, we get so entrenched with these players, doing something special with a ball or tackling. But the reality is, it's all make believe. But it's the make believe, it's the connectedness, it's that spiritual feeling that brings us together, that unites us as fans. And I think, again, just to digress, just quickly, going back to the prelim, I think it is so beautiful. But yeah, just a bit of food for thought there, the whole sporting thing, and is it fantasy or not? I mean, in a nutshell, you know, I think it is. But our passion, our love, obviously just brings it to life and makes it feel that much more magical again. But yes, there's so many special factors. Andrew Webster as well. You get a coach here when he was announced. You have no idea what he's going to bring. You have not, the only thing you sort of know about him is he was a coach. He was in a team back in 2014, 15, and you didn't really know much after that. You didn't really know. And then obviously, he brought that specialty. But what I really appreciate about Andrew Webster is his dedication to his craft, the love that he has for bringing his craft, but the love that he has for the New Zealand Warriors and staying in that, right? Being part of the New Zealand Warriors. Again, I think he's just so remarkable, so sensational, and we're so blessed to have him as a team. Now, obviously, we all love a good coach who brings us far. The question is what happens when he doesn't. But in saying that, we will get to that, in a later time. But I think we're in good hands here. Anyway, those are some of my thoughts on why it's so special. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, quickly, a recap on the Knights Warriors game. We all know what happened. The Warriors came back to Go Gadget Stadium, as I like to call it, and they put on a show. It was a show for about 26,000, so it was sold out, but I think it was like even more than that. It was virtually stretched to its capacity, and it was just so unique. What you sort of saw, you saw again. I touched on it before. The unity between the fans, which was beautiful to see. The plethora of chants, of good vibes, good energy, but just on top of that as well, the Warriors playing well, right? It was a game where I think virtually no Warriors put a foot wrong. If they're lacking in one area, they were superb in the other. Or they were all rounded, or it was just everyone played their role superbly, and it was just a perfect game. Again, I sort of touched on it as well yesterday on Fanatic Stream, where there was a few of us there. Shout out to the lads. You guys know who you are. But I just want to touch on it, right? Those little critics talking about the Warriors and our sort of close wins against struggling teams, right? And we defended the Warriors, saying, well, it is what it is, right? It's better to win a tough game than to lose a tough game, right? And I feel like the win against the Knights in this manner was absolutely needed, right? That's probably it. Again, there's not too much to talk about it there. I'm sure you guys have all heard it before, but that's just my recap. It was a game that was needed. It was a game that was performed well by a lot of players, but it's beautiful to see, right? My top 3 players, I touched on it yesterday again on Fanatic Stream. Go and watch it, by the way, if you haven't. It was a beautiful stream. Number 1 for me was, I think, Toby Harris. I thought he was sensational. He's superb. Just does all the dirty work, all the cliches you can throw about a hard-working player of any sport. That's exactly what I'm going to give there. So Toby Harris again. I tip my hat to him. It's what else do you sort of say? He's bandaged up, right? It's like he's took all the bandages from one particular hospital, and it's all on him. But again, he just continues to power through. Joke there as well, but it's lovely to see. Second as well for mine. Look, honestly, Jackson Ford. The week prior, he probably had a game to forget, arguably his worst game, and then he comes into this game here and he just locks and loads. He's ready. He's tackling. He's running with the ball. He's just doing all the little things right there. Again, positioning himself well there defensively. I thought it was good. And last but not least, as well, I thought was Bailey Sirenen. Probably his best game he played for us. And again, the context surrounding him, and unfortunately, no contract being given, which is very sad. But that's just the way it goes sometimes in rugby league, right? It's a business after all, and you've always got to put your best move forward, regardless of what it is. So again, those are my top 3 players there. Let me know who was yours. All right, so here we go. We get straight into it. We're going to get straight into it. But instead, I think we might. I think what we'll do before we sort of get into the selection, just quickly. And actually, we'll do that. We'll do it. No, apologies. We'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to actually put on the double screen for you guys. Okay, this is just going to be the screen only. Okay, and I'm going to quickly explain through some stuff. We'll go from there. So here we go. This is what history says. So head to head, since '98, the Warriors and the Broncos have played each other 42 times. Broncos winning 21, Warriors winning 20, one draw. Right, the last time we played each other, it was the Warriors unfortunately losing that game over, I think it was in Rotorua, right? 22 points to 26. Again, a lot of people say that the Broncos didn't have their star, their top players, but conversely, we didn't either. So there you go. All right, so current season, here we go. And I think this is really important as well, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's something here we need to watch as well. So the current season, right? So obviously 78. So they won 18 games. We won 16. So we lost 2. The points scored. So 617. We've scored 562. Points conceded. In other words, how many points were scored against them? 393 to 414. It is very, I wouldn't say it's alarming, but, it just shows you there is a bit of a difference, to be fair. Completion rate was 77 to 78. Tackle efficiency, we were better, 88.1. Average points scored was 26 to 24. Average points conceded was 17 to 18. Average play the ball speed was, we just beat them by a fraction. Is that right? Fraction? Maths? I don't know. Anyway, key stats. So Broncos have had 59% wins. Oh, here we go. Over at Suncorp Stadium. In other words, our house, the Warriors' house. Right? We've only won 6 times. 6 times. So, yeah, over there. So here we go. It is what it is. But look, I thought I'd just bring up those stats there just to get the imagination sort of running there, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you guys are sort of seeing it there. I will quickly get to the comments as soon as possible. But yes, we're going to go straight into the team selection. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. So the Wars or the Warriors, right? Ali Leatawa, Bunty R4, Irokosi, as well as Freddie Lussick. So we're going to start with the fullbacks here, and this is going to be the Warriors, and then I'll quickly dabble with the Broncos spot. At fullback is Chancellor Cookstad. The wingers are Dylan Watson and Selesniak, as well as Marcelo Montoya or Chili Montoya. The centers are Rocco Berry, Adam Pompey. The halves, Temare Martin, as well as Sean Johnson. In the forward pack, you see Adam Funor, Black, and Mitchell Barnett in the props, and your hooker is Wade Egan. In the second row, you have Jackson Ford, Marata Nukore, and at lock, your captain, Tohu Harris. And in interchange, you have Dylan Walker, Jazz Savanga, Bailey Sirinen, Josh Curran, and your 18th man is Freddie Lussick. However, Webster's also going with Tane 12 Piki for Leatawa Kosi as well. So that makes up the team. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's basically an unbroken team. Again, the old cliche, if it ain't broken, leave it alone. Don't fix it, right? So look, it's the same as is. I'm not going to complain. Again, obviously, the players here selected, they know they have a job to do, led by Sean Johnson. Obviously, he's going to be very pivotal in this game here. And if we're not Blake as well, Mitch Barnett, they're going to be obviously leading the front. But there you go. That is sort of like the sort selection there. Okay. And I'll read the comments now before I go into the Broncos. Yep. Okay. All right. Here we go. Now, conversely, on the other end of the coin, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the Broncos. So the Broncos have Reece Walsh at fullback. The wingers are Arthurs as well as Selwyn Cobbo. Got Tony Staggs as well as Herbie Farnworth in the centers. And the halves have got Mam as well as Reynolds, the captain. The props are Flegler, Haas, Hooker, Walters. Second rows are Capel, Jordan Ricky. And your lock is Patrick Carrigan. Your interchange sees Tyson Smoothie, Brendan Piakura, Kobe Hetherington, and Keenan Palacia. And your reserves are Corey Oates at 18th man, Martin Tapau, Corey Jensen, Jock Madden, and Tristan Saylor. So that there is the Broncos team there. Look, I've already been through the team stats, right? So I'm going to go through the preview here, right? And give you guys my thoughts on what's going to happen. Bearing in mind, this is all hearsay, really, until the actual thing happens. But we're going to get straight into it, right? Okay. So I guess in saying that, I think we'll go straight to the Broncos first, right? Broncos strengths and weaknesses. This is a very, when two teams meet on in the regular season, I don't think strengths and weaknesses is too much of a highlight until obviously they play each other, right? So it's not really much of a highlight until that is the case in the finals, especially. In the finals, especially, everything is over exaggerated, and it should be because it's the finals. it matters, right? It matters a lot. So it is what it is. But look, for me, the Broncos, right? As you can see in the stats there, look, I think if I'll go in the weaknesses first. I think the Broncos, one of their weaknesses, or what I've found anyway, and I think this was touched upon as well by the other guys there in Fanatic Stream, is the fact that they like to play risky footy. They do. They're a very risky team. I think they love a good offload or two. They love to sort of dare, right? The likes of Reece Walsh leading that charge. On the odd occasion, we get Carrigan doing it, right? Obviously, Mam right in the forefront of it. They play this type of footy as well, where it's open night. It's open. It's that classic heads up footy, but at the same time, it can work against them. Another thing as well, I think one of their strict weaknesses too is sometimes their defense. Now, obviously, they haven't conceded too much. I get it, granted. But still, there's been some games there where I think they've dropped their heads down just a little bit, enough for us to sort of be able to penetrate. Now, to be fair, there's actually not too many weaknesses for the Broncos, I don't think anyway, particularly if Reynolds is in the forefront there, which I'll get to their strengths there. But for mine, like I said, I think it's the fact that they play risky footy. They can work against them. And on the odd occasion, they can have lapses defensively. They actually can, particularly if you sort of go out wide, right? Cobo, right? Walsh as well. But another thing as well, and I think one of them as well, is the high ball. Reece Walsh, right? Defensively. Errors, right? That's a weakness too. Give them a few high balls. Let it be contested by some of the taller Warriors players. That type of stuff, the old school sort of approach. But yeah, that's my sort of thought there. Their strengths. You know what their strengths are? Herbie Farnworth, right? Payne Haas, Reynolds, man. They're such a talented squad. They've got all the rep players you could want in the world, from England to Tonga to New Zealand to Australia to Queensland to New South Wales. They've just got such a plethora of talent. It's hard to get by a team that's better on paper than the Broncos. Adam Reynolds as well, leading at the forefront. I think their spine too. Walsh, Mam, Reynolds to Walters. That connection there is in sync. Those four players just seem to know how to dictate the game on their terms, any part of the field. They firmly believe they can score anywhere, and I truly believe they can. Their attack is almost second to none. They are so good at attacking with the ball in hand. Again, I touched on their weakness being the fact that they play a bit of eyes-up footy, but at the same time as well, it can also be their strength, right? The fact that they play that really fast-paced, aggressive, very fast approach too. They've got a very good approach to the game. But again, led by, their forward pack in Haas, Flegler, Kurt, Capel, right? Carrigan, right? You know what Carrigan can do. He's a superb player. He's got such a huge future ahead of him, Patrick Carrigan. And again, this team here is just, forward packs. Man, ladies and gentlemen, they're a pretty strong team. Yeah, they're a pretty strong team. I'm going to just quickly get to the comments here. Okay, all right, cool. Hey, Will, how you going? Just quickly as well, shout out to Will. Will's a very dedicated, loyal Broncos fan, but I appreciate the love that he gives to this channel here, and I appreciate that, brother. So thank you again, Will, for tuning in, and it is going to be an absolute tough game, and I'm looking forward to it. But again, thank you for your support. All right, so the Warriors. We're going to go straight into the Warriors here. The strengths and weaknesses of the Warriors. And again, what I said about the Broncos, that's just my own opinion. Everyone has their own opinion. The reality is it doesn't matter until Saturday. That's when you'll see the real strengths and weaknesses. But understand it, Warriors. So I'll go with the Warriors' weaknesses first, right? Sometimes it can be the attack. To be fair, it can be the attack. Now, obviously, on the odd occasion, we've been able to score and score well, but there's been some dry spells, real serious dry spells where you're sort of left wondering, not as bad as last year. Granted, I'm not talking about it per se, last year, but there's been the odd occasion where we've had a bit of a dry spell. And I think for mine, it's, how do I say this? It's something that the Warriors need to work on, right? Unlike the Broncos, Warriors probably don't have the best strike, right? In terms of scoring tries anywhere. But again, led by Sean Johnson, hopefully we can sort of mitigate that. In other words, we can sort of close that and fix that. Another weakness as well, the Warriors is on the odd occasion, if it gets tough, we have found to be slipping sometimes. We have found to be slipping. Games, and again, I don't want to do this, but games against the top four teams, right, in particular, haven't really gone well for us. Now, granted, the Broncos game, I probably won't touch on too much. We've already talked about it, but, in particular, games against the Storm, games against the Panthers, even 2 games against the Roosters, right? So on the odd occasion, we'll be known to slip, defensively. Sometimes a bit of lapse defense as well hasn't probably worked for us. Another thing as well, I think, is our, and our edge defense in general, right? Edge defense. However, in saying that, in terms of weaknesses, yeah, I think that's probably better. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes we're flat on attack. Sometimes our weakness can be really our defense of the edge in particular. It might be on the odd occasion as well, a little bit of the errors as well, handling errors, discipline. Discipline. We love to hear the whistle a bit too much sometimes, I think. So we gotta learn to hate the whistle, all right, and make the ref keep the whistle in his pocket. So that's just the way I sort of see it. Okay, Warriors' strengths. So our strengths. Look, without Sean Johnson, quite literally, we are a different team, right? So Sean Johnson, for mine, is a big part of the Warriors' strength, right? As I quickly just flick it up here to the half, just to give you guys a bit of, here we go. There we go. Hopefully that's better for you guys there. Look, Sean Johnson, he's the catalyst for our team in terms of attack. He is what he is. Another part of our strength too, ironically, is our defense, because sometimes when it gets tough, we do defend, right? Obviously, teams do have a bit of lapse here and there, but, I've really appreciated our defense, as of recent, maybe not the Panthers game, but generally speaking, defensively, we've been on point. And I like the pressure we bring defensively, and I think another strength of ours is sometimes we have that second wind, where you think when things are getting tired and probably out there and probably not in contention for us, we just bring out this second wind, a bit of boost of energy. I think that really works for us. Another thing as well, just one more bit of strength for the Warriors as well. What I really think we do well, in my opinion, is I think we actually just, how do I say this? We do the basics well. Our completion rate usually is good. Right, we know how to hold the ball, so to speak, on the odd occasion. We do, generally speaking. It's not too bad. We're a somewhat tidy team. So again, those sort of the strengths there I'm looking for again. But generally speaking, like I said, I think this is all controlled through Sean Johnson here. And you may agree or disagree with what I'm saying, but that's just my sort of 3, general strengths and weaknesses for both teams there. All right, here we go, and I'll give you guys a we'll go for it. Anyway, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, 3 Bronco players. Okay. I don't like doing this, and I hope this doesn't. I hope this is a detriment as much as it is, just acknowledging how good they are. So, in saying that, look, 3 Broncos players that I think will play a massive part in this game. Okay, number 1, without a doubt, Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds is going to be the go-to. He's going to be testing our wingers left, right, and center. Okay, he's going to be bombing left, bombing here, bombing there. He is such a good position kicker. Once any of the backs are caught slipping, are caught sliding away, bang, he'll kick there, and it's all she wrote, because then we're scrambling, trying to catch that ball, etc., putting us in a more pressure position to attack from. Adam Reynolds is going to be the dictator. He's going to be looking for gaps. I'll tell you what, this is the game. Number 3 for mine, you know what? Payne Haas. And conversely, Anuphanor Blake, which I'll add as well to the next one. But Payne Haas, he's going to be looking to bring the House of Pain right to the Warriors. He is fit. He is strong. He is agile. He's aggressive. That I mentioned that he's strong. He is super strong. Payne Haas is actually a really strong dude. Again, the fitness he brings, the pressure he brings, he is just going to be ready for this game. And we got to be prepared for him, because I think he's going to have such a huge impact. Whether he plays 80 minutes or 70 minutes or whatever it is, we need to keep our eyes on him, right? Eyes on him. And the third player, yes, I think you guys know, it's Walshy, baby. That's right. I haven't said that for a long time. So Reece Walsh is player number 3 there for me, for the Broncos, who I think is going to absolutely look, part of me thinks that the Broncos are really gearing up for this game here, and I almost feel like Reece Walsh is going to be the main focal point of the game heading into this one here. Like, just watch the sneaky little bugger here. He's going to be right center of it all. Again, we know what Reece Walsh can do. He's a magician. He's an on-field specialist. He is such a, oh man, he's so good. Reece Walsh he's a magician. He really is. He's the type of player that can do something out of nothing, like just it may look dead in this part of the field. Then bang, one kick, one pass. Need I say more, right? Need I say more? But those are my 3 players there for the Broncos. All right, here 3 players that I think are going to have a huge say for the Warriors heading into this game. Number 1, Shaun Johnson. Shaun Johnson. Why? Because we need someone to steady that ship, right? We saw what we were like without Panthers. Now, I'm not going to say we're going to win that game with him playing. I'm not going to say that. I don't disrespect the Panthers. The Panthers are quite clearly levels above everybody else. Anyway, I digress. Shaun Johnson for mine. He's going to be the focal. I think he's going to be the focal point. And if he is for the Broncos, I feel it's a good thing, possibly. But in saying that, look, his kick management, his passing game, the attacking, the defensive organization, be it whatever it is he does, it's going to be so pivotal. He's going to have to bring not just his A game. He's going to have to bring his GOAT game, ladies and gentlemen. His GOAT game is going to have to be on display here. And I believe firmly will. But it's look, number 1, Shaun Johnson. Number 2 for me, I touched on Payne Haas. On the other side of the coin, Aaron for Noah Blake. We need an anchor. We need a front man. We need a bulldozer. Who else better to call than AFB? You know what I mean? Again, he has added so much to his game. He's got the beautiful left-right foot step, the shrug of doom, if you will, when he scores tries. And I just think he's got such an energy about him. One thing we don't realize or underestimate about Adam Blake is that he's got an engine as well, much like Payne Haas. Look, I don't want to judge between the 2, players' fitness levels, but I'll say they're pretty fit. To be fair with you, and I think Adam Blake is right up there as well. He can give you good, solid minutes again, but he's going to be someone that needs to stand up to the forefront. This is going to require this showdown between him and Payne Haas. This is literally worth the ticket price alone, ladies and gentlemen. Payne Haas versus Adam Blake is worth the ticket price alone. Type that on your social media. Send that on Facebook. Put that on Twitter. Post it up there on Twitter, Instagram. HCB said it. But yeah, those 2 battling is going to be so crucial. But yeah, we're going to need his defense, his workload. Again, the stepping, the offloads. He is so pivotal for us. He is going to almost be the centerpiece of what we're trying to do, particularly as we muscle up on the Broncos forward pack. And 3rd player as well. I was actually really thinking about this because I could say a few names and it could sound really cliche, and I really could. But I think, you know what? Dylan Walker from the bench. I know this sounds so out of left field, but Dylan Walker coming off from the bench, you want to, oh man, we know what he can bring, right? Against the Panthers game, when you use him 5'8", you're going to get nothing from him. And this night's game, you saw it, right? You saw what he brought in the game, right? The defense, the offense. Now that he's got another week of it again against the Broncos, hopefully he's got more of that experience. But I think Dylan Walker coming out from the bench and again providing that sort of third half, if you will, of Shaun Johnson to Marty Martin is going to be so pivotal. Again, his defensive game too. But I'm telling you guys, I almost feel like Dylan Walker is going to be, man, outside of Egan, probably the trump card, probably our magic card, if you will. So that's it there. Again, I think from the bench, he's going to be so crucial. Give me your thoughts there on my 3 for your team or the WAS team. But yeah, those are my thoughts there on those 3 players. But I think Dylan Walker, I'm telling you, I just get the sneaking suspicion that he's gonna have a really influential game. He was okay. He wasn't the worst in the night. Don't get me wrong, he had a good game. But I just think this game here, I'm telling you, be prepared. Be prepared. Okay, Q&A time. So I'm just going to sort of read through the comments. And there's no questions, sweet as. All good, all good. And I'm just going to sort of go through the. Oh, you guys are talking amongst yourself. Awesome. Sorry again, guys, for not posting up the comments there. Yes, that is. Yeah, completion extremely important. Whilst pressure Broncos just holding the ball. And yeah, that's right. That's right. It's simple as that. It really is. Reynolds, yeah. Reynolds in open space. Wrong thing to do. Believe you me. Believe you me. That's it. Yes. For no Black, are you not entertained? Is on point. That is the best. On attack, forward pack, forward minute. Yeah, that's right. No, agreed. All right, guys. Okay, cool. Yep, we're good. We're going there. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. Drum roll, please. Okay. Now you're gonna see me. Okay, and I got this. I got the green screen as well. Bit of a reflection there. Don't worry, I'm not Hulk. I'm not turning to Hulk. I just want to bring a bit of the green light there, represent the Wires, if you will. Okay, Broncos versus Warriors. Right, the Warriors playing over at our house in Suncorp Stadium. That's right, you heard that. Well, our house. Look, it's how do I say it? I mean, it's always going to be tough giving your predictions, particularly if you support one team or the other, because you're just never going to give the other team that chance that they're going to win. Like, it is what it is. No matter if you're the underdogs or if you're the favorites, you just can't do it. Okay. So that being said, now that's cleared, I wanted to go into my prediction. Look, this game here, I think, could go down as arguably one of the greatest games. Oh, it's going to be a big call. This has the potential. This has the potential to be one of the best games we've seen, in the last decade. This has the potential to be. Will it be though? That's the question. This game here for mine will be a battle of attrition. It's going to be the Broncos' continuous, relentless, hard-hitting offense, hard-hitting defense, right? Up against the Warriors, I suppose, basic footy, if you will. Just doing as Paul Gallen sort of touched on, the boring things. Right, it's that pretty fancy footy against a very standard, awkward-looking, yet gets the job done type of footy, and they're going to clash, and it's just going to look like some beautiful car crash, if you will. Look, the battle between the halfbacks, I don't even touch on it. I don't want to touch on it because, there's so many matchups you can touch on, but there's just no, it's Kotoni Staggs, Rocco Berry, Farnworth, Pompey and Staggs, Farnworth and Berry, those two they're virtually about the same height, right? About 190 centimeters. They're both elusive ball, runners to a degree, more so Farnworth. But I think on defense, you probably got to give it to Berry. Oh my goodness, those two together, again, another beautiful matchup. The matchup between Sean Johnson and Reynolds, again, that matchup there as well is beautiful on its own. You've got these two veterans who have been there, done that to a degree, and they're going to match up again for the winner takes all at the grand final the week after. It's just, the storytelling is beautiful, right? I haven't even touched on Toy Harris versus Carrigan. I haven't even really touched on Toy Harris and our captain. Oh my goodness, him and Carrigan. All right, the battle of attrition. Who's the last man standing? Who's going to be there to deliver it when it all matters the most? Right down the punch, right down the crunch. Again, young and old, young bull versus the old bull, if you will. Right? Those two. It's Wade Egan versus Walters. Ladies and gentlemen, the matchups here, the stories, the psychology behind this game, player for player in most cases, insane. Reece Walsh, I haven't even touched about the fact that Reece Walsh will be playing against his old team from last year. Reece Walsh will be playing against his old team from last year, ladies and gentlemen. The stories that went behind it, the drama, and the results from it. I'm probably talking about it too loud, so I'll stop. But yeah, ladies, Reece Walsh versus Charles Nicole Cookstad, right? Reece Walsh gone. Chance back in, coming back to play for us again. Look at that story, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Look at that story. Quickly, give me 2 seconds. Sorry. I'll be with you guys. Right. I'll be right back. I'm just going to quickly scroll up here. Arthur's as well. Did you see Arthur's, right? Salomon Colbo versus Stalin Walton and Selesniak. Can you give me a more interesting matchup, to say the least? That right there is an interesting matchup, right? Like, again, oh, goodness me, right? Jackson Ford versus Jason Lucky, right? And then you got the players off the bench. And just granted, I think I'll say that the Warriors probably have a better bench, to be fair, in my opinion. But I'm saying that. It doesn't matter. It's all in the day. Anyway, see, I've given you guys a backstory. I've given you guys a bit of context to the games. Now you guys can do that as you will. Now I want to give you guys an actual prediction. Look, this game here will be hard-hitting. It's going to be crazy. It's got the potential to be everything and anything you want it to be. This game here for mine is going to be, it's a sellout anyway. It's a sellout game anyway, right? It's going to be fast-paced. It might even be slow. I can see this game being a very minimal game in terms of maybe not much is done. Maybe there's just going to be a conservative approach Who knows? Who knows what the Broncos are going to bring? Who knows what the Warriors are going to bring? But look, I think this is how it goes. I think it's going to be a bit of an arm wrestle at first. I really do. I almost feel like it's that type of game where maybe one team scores a try early, right? And then it sort of is a bit of a grind afterwards. You know, those type of games, right? Bit of a grind, a bit of a slow grind, a fight, Second half comes around, one team scores, right? Or should I say the opposite team scores, and they sort of go from there. It's probably going to be like one team wins 6-4 points. I don't see this being a really open-ended game. I mean, obviously both teams are going to try and bring what they can, but I don't know. I just, we all thought the Storm were going to run havoc against the Roosters and ended up being a really close game. So again, you just don't really know what these games do. You don't. It is what it is. But look, for mine, it's going to be a grinding affair, but I believe that the Warriors pull off a monumental upset against the Brisbane Broncos at our house in Suncorp Stadium. All jokes aside, though, I think that's how it pans out. Anytime try scorer for mine. You can't go for the Broncos. You can't go past Salwan Cobo. You're almost guaranteed he's going to score. For the Warriors, you know what? I think I'm going to really back Sean Johnson to pull a bit of left-right magic, if you will, frustrate Andrew Webster. But I just really believe Warriors can pull this off. I just have this, and I'm so, hey, look, I'm sure Broncos fans, absolutely, you guys feel the same. You guys feel you guys might run away with it, but I think we'll hold you guys into a headlock, if you will, a bit of an arm wrestle, and we'll probably take it there. But I think it's going to be an inch-by-inch type of game. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. Anyway, Warriors to win, I reckon. Goodness. Warriors to win 14 points to 12, something like that. 14 points to 12 or 10, but that's where I'm sort of going. I think, yeah, that's my sort of thought there. Anyway, I'll read the comments. Look at, yeah. Okay. Class 2016. I'm scared for the Broncos. I'm scared. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm nervous as the Broncos. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is such a tough game, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the just all I'm gonna say is don't underestimate any of these teams. This really is a do-or-die game. You're right. It is what it is. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I guess that's probably me there done regarding that. I'm going to actually touch on so that's it there. I think the Warriors win it. I'm going to say, of course, I'm going to say the Warriors. I'm not going to say the Broncos are going to win it. Like, it is what it is. I could be completely wrong, right? I could be completely wrong. And this is an open-ended game with the Broncos winning convincingly. But at the same time as well, I just think this is going to be an arm wrestle. I really think the Warriors are going to drag him down to that slow, methodical pace because that's just what we do. We do ugly footy, high completion rates. Right, a lot of that kick chase stuff. That's what I think. Anyway, quickly before I go off, look, Panthers versus Storm. We all know what's happened, right, or what's going to happen. I might do this a quick little screen share actually, so I'll do that quickly for you guys before I hop off. So here you go. There we go. Beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go straight into the Panthers and Storm. And I'm not going to read out. I'm not going to read out their team list, by the way. It's just more so a general summation of the game coming up, so there won't be any in-depth analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies, but here's just a quick look at the team here. Right, it's virtually an unchanged team for the Panthers, minus Jermaine Salmon, and the ins here for the Storm. You got Fa'alongo there, and I think he'll be in the reserves. Although Fa'alongo would be like a trump card, I would use him. But yeah, that's the team. It's virtually unchanged. Luai is back though. That's a big difference there. Obviously, Jerome Hughes is back. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I think, how do I say this? I feel like for mine, if you're going to be really tipping this game here, you got to look at what the Storm did to the Roosters, and you just got to look at how bloody dominant the Panthers are. They're so good. There's just nothing they can do wrong here. Obviously, the Storm have been a great team of old. They still are to a degree, but I just feel like they've lost a little bit of that punch. But look, looking at it at face value, I can't go past the Panthers. I really can't. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to take a miracle for the Storm to beat them, but even if the Storm lose by 6 points, I think that's, or 10 points, I think that's, or even 12 points, that's good enough. I mean, Nathan Cleary just has this game on lock. followed by his henchman as well. Then Moses Leota, right? James Fisher-Harris, right? Sorensen, Liam Martin, Isaiah Yo, right? I just don't know how this. I can't see the Storm winning. That's all I'm saying. I can't see the Storm winning, and I'm not here to bury you Storm fans as well, by the way. But I just can't see it happening. Like, oh man, I hate saying this, but geez, they look like they look good for a 3P, don't they? The Panthers, they do. Stephen Crichton, To'o Luai. Now they've got their spine back. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look, Cameron Munster, Jerome Hughes. I think it's going to be good, but I almost feel like it's probably a game, one game too late, right? I think Jerome Hughes should have really played last week, to be fair with you, just to get a little bit of the test going. Now they're playing a really intense game together against the Panthers, but at the same time, you can look at Luai too, sure, but I don't know. There's something about the Panthers. It's just a very scary outfit. So I think for mine, I'm going to be tipping the Panthers to win here. Look, 13 plus, man. I mean, what do you say? What do you say? 13 plus for me. I think the Panthers will be too strong. I mean, look, like I said, it'll be a fair effort if Storm can lose the game by 6-12, but 12 points or under. It'll be a fair game. 12 points or under if they can lose it by. But man, the Panthers are so relentless. This is talking to somebody who's witnessed their team just absolutely get bashed by them, and they didn't even have their strongest players yet on the field. What do you sort of say, ladies and gentlemen? What do you do? Anyway, that's what I'm tipping. I'm tipping the Panthers to win the game by 13 plus. I know the Storm already. I get it, but if you go by their game against the Roosters, there's so much more room for improvement. It's not even funny. And I just don't think a week is worth it against the Panthers. The Panthers would have watched that game. They would have analyzed it. Nathan Cleary would have been doing his readings until like 3 a.m. in the morning every night. I don't know. Anyway, I'm dribbling, but you get what I mean. It's the Panthers to lose. It really is. I just don't see them. I don't see them losing to the Storm. I don't. Okay. I don't even think they had the last time they had a matchup. I don't think the Panthers had the best team on the field yet, and they beat them by 13 plus. Still, like 30 points to 6 or something. Yeah. And I don't think Cleary was playing. I may be wrong though, but point is they went with the strongest team, and I think the Storm had the strongest team, and there wasn't enough. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. Please join me if you want to for the live commentary reaction, right, this Saturday night. I want to give you my raw emotion. It's going to be real. It's going to be as is, but I'm going to call it down the middle, both teams. But I'm going to give you a lot of passion. But I hope to see you guys there. Stay tuned. There's more content, more AFL content as well is on the way. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking to expand, so I think that's probably the best way to go. And I'm not too bad, in regards to the other code as well, if you will. But anyway, I'm done. Thank you again for tuning in, for joining in. Hope you guys had fun. Bless you all. Take care. And you'll see me again very, very soon. But good luck to all teams except the Broncos. Up the Waz. It's our house. See you guys next time. Go the Waz.